Hello, and welcome to the MaidPro Henderson Life and Leadership Podcast, where we talk about business, life, and making a difference. And now, your host, the owner of MaidPro Henderson, Michael Amato von Hemmert.
All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of the MaidPro Henderson Life and Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Amato von Hemmert, the owner of MaidPro Henderson. And today in the studio, we are joined by Jess Smith. She is our communications coordinator, and she's here to kind of just introduce herself a little bit more. She's been hiding in the shadows a little bit of a few days that we've been out filming and taking some behind-the-scenes photos. You'll be seeing some more of that here shortly. And just figured we'd give you a chance to kind of meet her and introduce her to the rest of the world and our podcast. So thanks for being with us today, Jess. Really
Awesome.
Appreciate it. And why don't you just sort of tell the audience a little bit more about yourself and kind of, growing up, the early days, the origin story, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I'm actually a Las Vegas local. I grew up in Boulder City, actually, so 30 minutes away from Henderson. And I went to Boulder City High School, I actually went to LVA for a year for dance.
Oh, cool. Wow.
And decided that wasn't for me. So when I went back to Boulder City, I took a film studies class and realized I really enjoy film.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose the major I did.
You kind of go in that direction.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And so, so film versus photography and pictures and video, where do you sort of, find the differences or some of your, your leanings and why do you like one or the other?
Yeah, so photography I really like because I like capturing one moment besides all the other moments, if that makes sense. So,
okay, interesting.
So let's say someone's laughing and I catch the perfect moment of them laughing and then they can remember
Right.
that moment when they look at the picture. So that's why I love photography. And then I love film because it's just so much fun to
It was a great time. Why not? Let's do film.
It's just so much fun to figure out the lighting and
Okay.
the shots you want to do and the meaning behind the shots. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun to write scripts as well.
Oh,
I really
really?
like
Okay,
writing.
you've done some of that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And, editing that comes
Yeah,
along
or
with
even
film.
the music video and some of
Yeah.
the stuff that you worked on. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I love both of them.
Yeah, no, I think there's definitely a lot of storytelling that can kind of happen in both ways, but just kind of different, kind of how you said, right? That's really cool. And so if you were kind of in that realm and kind of interested in the film side and taking picture storytelling and all of that, what did you have a sense that UNLV would help you with that, or sort of why did you look at their program or decide to kind of do that versus somewhere else, or just kind of having a go of it?
Yeah, so I wasn't looking at very many colleges because I knew that I wanted to stay sort of close to my family. But I was looking at some colleges in California for film and just decided that they were a little too expensive.
Yeah, it is kind of pricey. California. Another reason why we are here at MaidPro here in Southern Nevada. Fan of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I actually found out that UNLV is actually in the top 25 for film schools.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, hey, why not? Let's give it a try. So as a compromise, my parents let me live on campus.
Okay.
So that I was still close to them, but I also got to, get away from home and experience college.
Yeah.
So that was really cool of them, and I've loved it so far. I love everyone in the film program. I love all my professors. It's a really great environment.
And which year are you in, or how many years has it been?
So I just finished a semester.
Okay.
So next semester I should be a senior.
Okay,
I think.
gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Credit-wise.
I know how to say credit-wise for sure, right? Yeah, exactly. So that's cool. Glad that you think that UNLV has some, a way to kind of help you get into that. And it seems like it's been a good fit so far. Do you have I don't know, top one or two classes or something, or shout outs or things that you think, oh wow.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, tell us more about that. There was definitely a response. I didn't have to go any more into that question. It was yes, this one's my favorite. Which is?
Cinematography. I've
Okay.
taken cinematography 1 and cinematography 2.
Okay.
And next semester I'm going to take the cinematography workshop. And they've all been taught by Carl Ulrich.
Okay.
Who's an amazing professor.
Awesome.
Loves what he does, just wants to help everyone. He's
Very
awesome.
cool.
I loved it so far. It's great.
That is so cool. Awesome. Well, thanks again for everyone being here on that MaidPro Henderson Life and Leadership Podcast. We'll be right back after this brief break. All right, everyone, and we are back with the MaidPro Henderson Life and Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Amato von Hemert, the owner of MaidPro Henderson, the professional home cleaning company. In our studio today, we have Jess Smith, who has joined us. She's on the staff here as our communications coordinator, and she really helps spread the word, right? And so she's been working on taking photos and video and starting to do some writing and kind of, I think soon our YouTube channel and definitely, as you can see, our podcast. So you'll be able to find this podcast on all of your favorite podcast apps as well as on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, MaidPro Henderson. And with that said, Jess, so tell us a little bit more. I know we connected actually through your mom, who heads up a group called Meet and Eat that I've been going to on and off for probably 3 or 4 years, I think, ever since 2 locations ago, right? So have migrated from the first 2 into the third, and so at that point she sort of made an ask, right? A presentation said, "Hey, my daughter Jess is like doing this awesome cool stuff. Like check out her Instagram, check out like what she's got going on. She's looking to kind of build her experience. Like who might be able to help her?" So we connected after that, and kind of had the chance to sort of come over here and even though photography and videography and then home cleaning may not sound kind of in the same realm, like what made you interested in that and kind of drew you to MaidPro Henderson or feeling like you might get some value work in here?
Right. So first of all, shout out to my mom. She's an amazing person.
I love it.
So I hadn't heard of MaidPro. When my mom mentioned it, I looked you guys up and found out that you were a cleaning company, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. But I'm just interested in, any corporate experience, and like the whole marketing realm. I think that's really interesting too. Yeah. And I just wanted experience and to help you guys grow, and because I can tell you guys are just a really great company.
And we are very much in the beginning, I like to call it kind of scrappy startup phase, right? Like the business is small-ish, right? And so we're, a team of about 15 or so, and we've only been open a little over a year. So it's been very much like, all right, we're in the trying to find new business and trying to tell our story mode, right? And kind of getting that out. So really cool that you came in to join us on that journey.
It's been fun so far.
There you go. Yeah, I know it's only been a little bit so far, so hopefully glad it's been a good start. And so like, have you gotten a sense at all of that? Maybe you could tell the audience a little bit about sort of what you feel like is different being here versus other places or other companies or other cleaning companies. What do you think? Kind of from the early perspective, what is a little different about us than maybe some of the other businesses or other companies out there? What do you think?
Yeah, so MaidPro is very friendly. They care about you and they care about your family and your family's needs and wanting you to spend time with your family. Yeah. And I think that's super cool. They're not just a random cleaning company that comes in a van and just like, hey, let us clean your house.
Ready to spend $20? Yeah, we'll figure it out. You're like,
they want to help you and let you take the time to do other things besides cleaning, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. No, I'm excited to help share that story as well. And so kind of as we wrap up, we haven't quite officially landed on sort of the endings yet officially, but one of the thoughts I had was sort of the kind of that question of the day, right? Mm-hmm. Or maybe an insight or a question you have of the audience. I think our audience is likely to be sort of in that 35 to 55-year-old person. Maybe they're married with kids or pets, and they're busy professionals who are listening to this either while they're working out or sort of on the commute to work or something like that. What sort of question would you maybe pose to them or sort of insight?
If you didn't have to clean, what would you be doing?
There you go. MaidPro question of the day. I love it. So awesome. Thanks again. Thank you everyone who's watching at home, who's listening on the podcast. The MaidPro Henderson Life and Leadership Podcast. This has been a really fun project to get off the ground. And I look forward to sharing more. Jess, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate your time. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
This has been another episode of the MaidPro Henderson Life and Leadership Podcast. MaidPro Henderson is a professional home cleaning company focused on monthly, bi-weekly, and weekly cleaning services to give you more time back in your schedule for the things you care about. For a free estimate, call 702-534-6701 or visit maidpro.com/Henderson-NV. Thank you for listening. For more info, tips, and tricks, subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform.